Hey guys, it's Lindsay. Welcome back to my channel. So I recently posted some photos on Instagram of a couple new products I picked up from the Collective Cosmetics. One of them was their Awakening bundle, this really gorgeous little 5-piece spring eyeshadow set. So I picked up these, and then I also picked up, well, I ordered one of their highlighters and then they were super awesome and sent me an additional one because I think they know how obsessed with their highlighters I am. So I ordered this shade right here, which is the Thawing. So this is the Thawing. It is a super, super gorgeous, shimmery, whitish highlighter, which is what I've been wanting from them ever since I found and fell in love with their highlighters. So this is like the Rihanna, the Fenty Diamond Glow one, but like amplified. Because with that one, I do feel like you get that shimmery whiteness, but this, I feel like it packs even more of a punch. And then the other highlighter they sent me is also one of their newest releases. This one is in the shade Bright. It was apparently a shadow in their Mandela palette and people really loved it. So let me do a little swatch of this one. So this one is a really gorgeous, like a glow. See, I don't know if that's even picking up. This is probably the first highlighter from them that I've tried that's not like that sparkly formula. This is definitely more of a traditional highlighter formula and I actually really love it. I've worn it in another video. I think I might have forgotten to mention it, but it is super pretty. So I really, really like that one. So I figured I left my highlighter off, so I figured maybe we could use one and or both of those on the cheeks. As far as the Awakening bundle goes, they no longer have the bundle on their website. At least they don't right now when I'm checking on it, but all of these shadows are for sale individually. Their shadows are $8 a piece, and if you want to save a little bit of money, you can get 10% off using my code. It's not affiliated, it just gives you a little discount. So it's just Nerdy Girl, and you get 10% off. So it works on anything that's not a bundle or like the subscription box. So if you wanted to buy singles, you could totally do that. So I figured with this being Easter weekend, I'm feeling very springy. So I thought it'd be fun to just create a little fun spring inspired look. I think I'm gonna go ahead and try to use all 5 of these shadows in the look. We'll see. And I'll go ahead and pop both highlighters on so you guys can see how those look. And yeah, we'll just have a little pretty spring look. So let's go ahead and zoom in and get started. All right, so I have my lids primed with the MAC Paint Pot. So the first shade I'm gonna start out with is this shade right here. It's this really gorgeous peachy pink color, and this is called Ascension. So I'm gonna start out with this on a fluffy brush and work this into the crease. I'll kind of pack it down a little bit because I didn't set the primer. So I'll do a little bit of packing and then blending. I think I'll just leave it there for now. Maybe come out a little bit more. This is kind of the perfect shade for me to do my usual, but I'm not gonna go crazy blown out, just a little bit. Because I like a lighter peachy shade like this for the blown out look. I'm not going too crazy, I'm literally just coming to right here. And I'm gonna leave it alone for now. I'll finish connecting the bottom lash line once I figure out what colors I'm doing down there. So I'm gonna try something a little different. I'm gonna do like a little bit of a different order than I normally would do here with these shadows. So what I'm thinking I wanna do is I really wanna use this yellow color, kind of just on the inner portion of the eye. So I think I'm gonna pop the yellow on the inner corner and bring it to about halfway. And then for the rest of the lid, I'm going to do the shimmery blue. And then I'll go in and maybe add some of this matte blue, but I just kind of want to lay those colors down first. So I'm just gonna fast forward and you guys can watch me pop it onto the lids. Might try to pop it with my finger first and then go in with the brush. Okay, so I do like that, but I'm not a big fan of some of the shimmer here. So I think I'm gonna pop into the peach shade with a skinnier brush and just kind of diffuse this inner part of the crease a bit. And I will end up going, I think, back in with one of their highlighters just to brighten that up a little bit, but I do like the yellow there. So I am gonna leave that alone. I'm gonna clean this brush off. And now I'm gonna jump into this shade right here. Okay, I totally forgot to tell you guys, so I'll go ahead and tell you now. This yellow shade is called Narcissus, and this shimmery blue shade is called Mournful Eve. So those are the two shades I used on my lid. All right, so next up we're going to jump into this gorgeous blue shade, which is called Azariel, I believe is how it's pronounced. I could be totally wrong. I cleaned this brush off. I'm gonna keep using it though. So I'm just gonna get a little bit of that on the brush. And I'm going to keep this concentrated to the outer part of the crease. I'm pretty sure. I haven't really fully decided yet. We'll see. I'll bring it in just a little bit, just so that it kind of tapers down. Okay, I'm just kind of tapering it off. I think I'm gonna go back in over it with the lighter shade. So going back into the pink Ascension shade, I'm just gonna kind of buff over that a bit. And also over the top. I might get back into some of the yellow too. But for now, I'm gonna take this brush and back into the dark blue. Just get a little bit of it and kind of work on this outer corner a bit. Okay, and then I'm just gonna take the same brush I used earlier and dip it into the yellow shade, just kind of getting a little bit of it on the tip area and just lightly brushing that into the crease. Not too much, because again, I didn't want too much of that shimmer up in the crease, but just a little so that it kind of makes sense and then meets with the blue. All right, that's all I'm gonna do for now. Let's go ahead and jump down to the lower lash line. So I'm going to use this shade right here, which is called New World Order. So I'm just gonna pop this under the lash line as a liner. I'm gonna go ahead and just stop it where the yellow is, because I do kind of like the way it looks there. I am gonna bring this down a bit, make it kind of blown out, and then we'll add that peachy shade. So just taking a smaller brush into the yellow, I'm just going to make this little line a bit more precise. Kind of go over the green a bit. And then I'll take the brush that had the green on there, not getting anything more, just whatever's left, and very lightly give a little tap, kind of a little tap and drag underneath it, just so it gives a little bit of that shadow. Switching to a pencil brush, I'm back into this little peachy shade, and I'm going to give a good little buff underneath here. And now I'm jumping into the green, and I'll do some diffusing with that color. Okay, I like that. And then back into the fluffy brush from the beginning with the peachy shade, and just kind of re-intensify that blown out look, but again, I'm not going as insane as I have in some of my looks. And this is a really light color, so this is perfect if you're wanting to try something like that, but you're a little scared to. Kind of blend the top of that. Back in with the blue brush, just to make sure I didn't lose that intensity. Okay, I think I'm happy with that. So, like I mentioned, I do want to brighten this up a little bit, so I am going to jump into the Collective Cosmetics Moon Twin palette, and I'm gonna grab the yellow highlight shade, which is Emblazoned. I love popping this one. This is probably one of my favorite ones to use because I feel like it really ends up transforming the shadow because it's got just this really gorgeous reflect to it. I am going to get the brush a little wet before jumping into the highlighter. So pretty. And kind of just pop that over the top and blend it out. Okay, I haven't shown wing liner on camera in a while, and I don't know if you guys care to see it or not. If you do, let me know below, but I figured I'd go ahead and show it since I haven't. Right now I've kind of been using a combination of two liners sometimes, mostly because I'm trying to use up the rest of this Stila liner. I like it, but the tip just doesn't work for me to do a wing, so I mostly use it to do the line across. And then I still perfect the tip with this little LA Splash live wire liner. I love this for my wing tip, but this works just to kind of get the black line across. Okay, and then to tie in the green, I'm gonna use Teaspoon from ColourPop in the waterline. Then my Milk Kush mascara. And then for lashes, I'm gonna use a pair of Likely lashes in the style Sleepy Baby, which looks like this. Just wanna pop these on real quick. All right, so that's pretty much what the eye looks like. Let me go ahead and catch the other eye up, and then I'll come back so we can try on the highlighters and I'll find a lip to wear. So for lips, I thought we ought to just go ahead and stay with the Collective Cosmetics. I figured this would be a really fun color to go with this very springish look. This is one of the eye and lip lacquers from, I think, the February subscription box, the Violent Delights one. This one was called Poison Kisses. So it was just like really pretty, kind of like lavender shade. And I am going to amp up the gloss factor a little bit with some Lime Crime Wet Cherry Gloss. Just a little bit. I like this one because it just very subtly tints, so it still works nicely over another color. Okay, so this is the finished look. Let's go ahead and pop on some highlight. So I'm gonna start out with the bright shade just because I think this one is really beautiful and I think it goes the best with this look. Now, if you guys have watched any of my other videos where I've used Collective Cosmetics highlighters, you know that because of the really sparkly formula, I usually prefer to use a more dense highlighting brush. But this one, since it doesn't have really any kind of glitter to it, or at least not much that I can tell, I'm just gonna go in with my usual highlighting brush and pop that on the cheek. It's a gorgeous little glow. So that is what bright looks like. But because I'm a little bit extra when it comes to highlight, and I just like highlight a lot, we're gonna add a little more. And because I'm kind of showing you guys these highlighters too, I'm gonna pop into the Thawing, which was the gorgeous white one. This one is a glittery one, so I switched to a more dense brush. And I'm literally just going to tap a little bit, because I mean, I do already have highlight on here, so I'm just gonna tap a little bit and focus this more up on the high part. So what I like to do is pat it down first and then buff it around. So you can see how kind of icy that gets. I love it. The two actually look really pretty together. Okay, so what you guys think? I really do love their highlighters, what can I say? They are some of my favorites. All right guys, so that's all for this video. This was a lot of fun, just kind of having a random like play with makeup, just with some new stuff that I picked up. It just kind of so happened to be a bunch of Collective Cosmetics products, but you guys know I love them and I love to support them as a brand. If you are interested in these, like I said, they do have them as singles on their website, so I'll make sure to list all the different shade names and kind of like a little quick description of which ones they are in the description box below, so that if you are interested in like just one or two of these, then you know which ones they were. Highlighters, I totally recommend the highlighters. I've been recommending their highlighters since I fell in love with them. But if you're not really a fan of the glittery highlighter, totally understand. I would definitely recommend trying out Bright, because this one is more of a gorgeous kind of glowy highlighter, and it really kind of reminds me of like the Becca highlighters. So that might be one that would interest you if you're not into the glittery one, but if you are into the glittery one, and you like an icy one, oh my god, get the Thawing. This is so gorgeous. But they have some other really pretty ones on their website. And of course, I got some pretty unique ones from the subscription box. So that's always a fun option if you're just wanting to try some new singles and new highlighters. So keep that in mind. But that's it for this video. If you guys enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to stay tuned for tomorrow's video, which will be the Urban Decay Game of Thrones palette. It should be 2 looks, maybe 3 if I find the time to film a 3rd one, and you know, we'll just see how that goes. But yeah, so stay tuned for that. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.